now do the charting on feature collections. We're going to use this data set from the community catalog or Global Power Plant database. So this is a data set generated by WRI. They created this database, geospatial database, where they have mapped every power plant in the whole world. And they've also collected attributes, like what is the type of fuel that the power plant uses, what was the capacity, what was the power generation, and so on. So they've mapped it, and you have this for the entire world. There's a version of this available in the main catalog. So if you search in the main catalog, Global Power Plant data, but this is an old version. So that we are using the latest version that's available in the community catalog. Right? So this is a really nice large data set. And we want to generate a chart showing what is the capacity of power plants per country by fuel type. And so I was reading an article where I saw that this particular country has power generation 30% is coming from coal, 20% coming from nuclear, and so on. Right? So we have this information here in this database. Can we create a chart that shows what is the total installed capacity of all the power plants grouped by the fuel type? So how much is the total coal generation capacity, nuclear generation capacity, and so on. So that's what we're going to do. Let's understand the structure of this data first. So there's a column called country long. This is the name of the country. So we are trying to plot the data for Germany. So this is what each of the feature looks like. You can see they have a lot of columns. You have this is one power plant. Okay, so this is the name of the power plant that we are looking at. So this is some statistics, but so this is the ID of the power plant, and this power plant has this much of capacity in megawatt. This was what is the installed capacity. This is a nuclear power plant. How much did it generate? There are some have this value where in 2015 it generated this much electricity, 2016 this much, and so on. Right? So this is all the information you have for all the power plant of the world. And what we want to do is we want to just select these two properties where we'll just say select we want the fuel type, the primary fuel, and we want the capacity. Ideally, we would have the actual generation, because sometimes the nuclear power plants have a lot of capacity, but they're not run at full capacity. But we don't have the data for all the features. So for the purpose of this exercise, we are just selecting the capacity of that particular feature. So now we have this data where we have each power plant. Let's say how many are there. In Germany itself, this database has 1,300 power plants. So now we have 1,300 values. Each power plant has the fuel type, and we have the installed capacity. And what we want to do is we want to know the total installed capacity for each fuel type. So we can't plot the data just like this because we have 1,300 features. Each one has some different value. And we want to now create the sum of this value. So give me the sum of all the capacity grouped by the primary fuel. So the fuel is different, group them by this. So this value, take all the solar power plants, sum them up, take all the nuclear power plants, sum them up, and so on. So this is our group reducer. Right? We saw how to do this with class and areas. We'll learn how to do the same group reducer, but now with a feature collection. So calculate total installed capacity by fuel type. How do you run a reducer on a feature collection? Anybody knows? If you have an image, you can run reduce region. How do you run a reducer on a feature collection? What's the function? The function is called reduce columns because you have a table, right? You have a shapefile. So you can now take the properties and say, I want to now sum up this column or give me the average value of this column and so on. Right? So let's run this. What reducer you want to run? We want to sum it up, right? We want to say reducer sum, but not just any sum, right? We want to sum it by as a group reducer. First, let's just specify the selectors. So we'll say, I want to select these two columns. And we just don't want any sum, we just want a grouped reducer. So group field will be 0. Sorry, group field will be, so I'm actually doing this. So yeah, in this case will be group field will be 1 and group name, sorry, group field will be 0, primary field. And group name will be, and this can be anything. This will be just used as an output. Yeah. And this will be our selectors. Let's print this. So you get an output where there are 10 groups, 1 for each fuel type. Now you will see primary fuel biomass. This is the total sum of all power plants where the fuel type was biomass. This is coal, gas, and so on. Right? We just did our group statistics. By now, we know how to take the group statistics and turn it into a feature collection. Just extract the groups, map a function, and you get your feature collection. Now we have this feature collection. We can easily chart this. Let's create a chart. We do UI chart feature by feature. On the X property, we'll plot fuel type. And on the Y property, we'll print the capacity. Primary fuel, sorry, not this. Oops, that's what we have here. Sum. Okay, we should do sum. We can actually rename the thing. We have not renamed, but so we get this. So we get a chart. Again, line chart doesn't make sense for this. So we'll just do set chart type to be column chart. So we get a chart like this, right? So we get a chart of what is the installed capacity for each of the fuel type of this. As I mentioned, if you can also do a bar chart. Bar chart kind of also works for this kind of data where you want to show the distribution of this. Right? So this will show the horizontal bar chart. Let's make the chart a little bit better. So we're going to add some options here. I'm going to add the titles of each axis first. We'll also add the color. So we'll make the chart of a particular color. Right? We can set a particular color for the bars. One of the kind of really useful parameter that will take your normal looking chart to like a professional chart is to set a background color. So instead of a white, we can set a background color to be something different. So you can see now, suddenly my chart looks so much nicer because I've set a background color. Okay, so in your publication, do use the background color option to assign the background color there. And we'll just turn off the legend. We don't need it here.